Greetings one and all, this is Lloyd Brown and welcome social media family to 3 more days. 3 more days until the Vocalist album comes out on road. So here we are. And I've got a song in my head and I don't know why it's in my head. Would you like to know what the song is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters? I'm going to tell you. Pump up the jam, pump it up while the bass is bumping and the people stomping. Pump it up and bumping. Ow, wow, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day. Ow, wow, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day. Make my day. Make my day. Why have I got that song in my head? I don't know why I got that song in my head. What a sense of recall I have, my word. What was the group called? I think they were called Technotronic. Pump Up the Jam, 90s. Wow, what a trip the 90s were, man. Jeez. You know, people singing about I see it, and ease and stuff like that. You know, there's a big furore about that. But remember, you know, the Beatles were singing about LSD and all them kind of things in the 60s as well. So it's a generational shift, you know. Generational shift, but different highs, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not advocating hard drug use. I'm just saying. Anyway, what do I want to talk about today? I mean, the usual thanks goes out to everyone that's supporting the album, everyone that's supporting the thing. You know, the usual thanks goes out, you know, without question, goes without saying. But today I want to talk about something that I might be speaking for the reggae fraternity, I might be speaking for the music fraternity as a whole. You know, sometimes I get back, well, are the right message, but are the wrong messenger. Like, bro, if it talk for me, you know, because me, I do my thing, I'm there in my own lane. That's fine. So I'm going to speak for myself, okay? As someone who is a representative of this thing here. And I might get a thumbs down on the video, but I'm not really business about that. I'm just saying what I'm saying because it is the truth. So, here goes. Of late and periodically, when I'm about to release my albums, you know, there is a little bit of, not so much hype, you know, but there's a little bit of a, not so much frenzy, there's a bit of interest that is whipped up on social media, on the internet and what have you. And I would get these messages from people and they would basically be encapsulated in a couple of sentences. And the sentences are like this. Hi Lloyd, greetings Mr. Brown. I'm a huge fan of yours. Can you possibly send me your latest album so I can promote on my radio station? Now, there's something wrong in that sentence. There is something definitely wrong in that sentence. And because this is not a live video and you can't give me your feedback at the time I'm recording this, I'm going to try and explain what is wrong with that sentence or with that request by putting a football analogy to this. I am a supporter of Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, I support Tottenham Hotspur. And I'm a fan of Tottenham Hotspur. But I'm not going to go to Wembley and go into the director's box, if I can even get into Wembley Stadium, and ask them to give me a season ticket for free. Or to go to Wembley Stadium and ask if I can see one of Tottenham's matches for free. Or go into Sports Direct or JD Sports and ask the shop floor manager to give me a Tottenham jersey for free. Because I'm a huge fan of Tottenham Hotspur. So you see what I'm trying to basically say here. And I'm not, you know, I'm not putting a hammer down on these people. You know, sometimes it's learned behavior. They see other people do it, so it's like, okay. And other people might furnish them with what they require. And that's all well and good. But for me, as a professional musician, someone who is doing it to earn money for it and invest money back into what I'm doing, that sentence, what I get, that request, what I get, doesn't make sense to me. Because here's the thing. When I make an album, before anything else, I have to be able to turn on that machine back there. And that's going to take electricity. I don't have 20,000 hamsters running on their respective wheels and charging this thing up. I've got to pay for electricity to begin with before I have any ideas to put down in the studio. Next, I have my two go-to session musicians who are in my band, Rhythm Works band. I have Remy, who plays guitar, and I have Patrick, who plays trumpet. And I will build up an album of material, let's say 10 tracks, and they will come in and play on all 10 tracks. Remy would play on the 10 tracks, but Patrick will probably play on 3, 4, or 5 of them because the whole album might not need horns on all of the tracks. But after they've done all of that, I have to pay them. I've got to find money out of my pocket to pay them to do the sessions on my albums. Now, looking at it from a rhythm perspective, okay, I work with a band of producers, okay, all over the world, right? So there is situations where money is not even involved, but I'm going to tell you what the deal is with me. And I'm sure my producer collaborators won't mind me divulging this information. But how it works for me is that they will ask me to voice on a rhythm, right? Sometimes the rhythm they give me, I might be feeling it or I might not be feeling it, or it might need a bit of work on my side in terms of putting horns on or additional overdubs and things like that. In that capacity, it can definitely work. But the ultimate thing is that they've got a rhythm track that they've composed, and I've got my original lyrics that I've written to put on the track, right? And the deal is that I have the option to put it on my album, and also they have the option to put it on their album or release it as a single, because I'm not really a singles artist. I release albums. So it's a win-win situation, and it's further a win-win situation where when the track is registered, by that I mean when I take it to the relevant organizations, i.e. my publisher, who is president, who works for Back to the Future Music, and I tell him, okay, I wrote this and Joe Blogg's production wrote the music. So I get 50% split, he gets 50% split. Or if there's like 4 musicians that has an equal split, it will be like 12.5% each if it's 4 of them. So the permutations, you can always the permutations, right? And depending on how well the song does, how much radio play it gets on commercial radio stations, how much play it gets in, I mean, even elevators, shopping malls, karaoke machines, jukeboxes, they all count. YouTube videos, it all counts. So that when they collate the amount of plays it gets, we get the royalties for that. And as a result, money comes in to what we're doing. And I don't know about in their case, but I would hazard a guess and say, well, whatever money comes into their quarters, they're going to take the money and reinvest it back into the music that they're making. It's the same for me. You know, any money I get is for the music. It's not for my lifestyle. Come on, man, look where I am. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not living in no ivory towers. I don't have the latest things here. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. You're not funding my lifestyle when you buy an album. Trust me, I just pay the bills, make my music, and I give thanks for that. Believe me, right? So with all of that into consideration, and then getting the album mastered, right? Which costs money as well. Plus the artwork that my brethren Jerry Neville does for me. He doesn't do that for free. I pay him to do that. And it might seem like a waste because it's not on no CD tray. It's not on no 12-inch album sleeve. You know, it might seem like a waste, but at the same time, it's like they're there. So in future, if I want to put out a limited edition 12-inch album or CD, I can do it because the artwork is there. So that's what I'm paying for. So it's all coming out of my pocket before it even is released as an item. So in this time, 3 days before the release of the album, and I'm getting messages from people saying, I'm a fan of your works. Can you give me your latest album so I can promote it on my radio station? Number one, you're not promoting it. I'm promoting it, right? I'm promoting it and you're supporting it. If you buy a track, you're supporting it. If you buy an album, you're supporting it. You're not promoting it, right? I'm already an established artist. I don't need the promotion per se, right? So that kind of language kind of gets lost in translation with me. So as a result of all of that and getting those messages, it doesn't piss me off, but it kind of puts me in a position where I feel I have to explain myself yet again to some people. Because there are DJs, I keep saying this, and I'm saying some DJs. There are some DJs that would tell me, Lloyd, don't be silly, man. Don't be silly. I'm buying your album. You know what I mean? Your album is quality. That's what I come to expect from you. I'm buying your album. Just like how me as a youth, I would go to a record shop and buy any Dennis Brown tune that comes out on Yvonne Special or Joe Gibbs. If it was on Joe Gibbs, wow, that's a bonus. You get what I'm saying? Same with Barry Salmon. People will buy a Barry Salmon album. But then you have people that will basically illegally download a Chronix album. Apparently the Chronix Chronology album was one of the biggest bootlegged albums of this year. Don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But one thing you're not going to see me doing, you're not going to see me run behind DJs in their residency gigs. And let's face it, DJs are getting more work than the artists. The DJs will play at their residency gigs week after week after week after week after week after week after week. And there's nothing wrong in that. There is nothing wrong in that. But you're not going to see me run behind you and say, yo, brethren, give me 75 pence. And they say, what are you talking about? Well, you played Main Squeeze and Main Squeeze got the biggest forward of the night. So can I get 75 pence of that, please? And they might have basically got a copy of that CD from a next DJ brethren or a record shop brethren, because it does happen. Come on now, you know, let's not be naive about it. It does basically happen. But you're not going to see me run after a DJ on his residency gigs and ask them, man, they're for 75 pence. That's embarrassing. So I don't want nobody embarrassing themselves by asking me to give them an album for free because they are fans of mine. Real fans buy my tunes. Real fans buy music. Real football fans buy football jerseys, right? Real football fans buy season tickets at like $4 a pop. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And another important point I want to make, right? Which relates to what we are in. We are in a fraternity. We are in a business, right? Is that if we look on what we're doing as a business, as a collective cooperative business, because that's what a lot of people basically say is like, well, you know, I'm doing this because, you know, the UK don't get no respect and the UK don't get this and the UK don't get their props. That's all well and good. But one person thinking that way is one thing. 2 people thinking that way is another. 15 people thinking that way is another. But the whole of the fraternity thinking that way, that will make a massive difference. But you have people who are in this thing and they're just doing what they're doing. And they're more or less saying to the rest, kiss my ass. I'm doing what I'm basically doing, and I'm going to reap what I'm going to basically reap out of it. And my name is going to be a worldwide name and this and that and what have you. I know the usual suspects. I know who these people are. I don't have to call them out. I know who they are. And these are selfish people who have no interest as to what is going on from the grassroots of this thing. And they will continue to boost up themselves and big up their name and what have you. And then when the media wants to know what's going on in the UK reggae music fraternity, it's them people that they're going to interview. And them people are far out of touch from what we're doing on the grassroots level. And they know that people like me are making 20, 21 albums, and my other peers are making albums of good quality, critically acclaimed albums, but they're not going to mention their names because it's going to kind of interfere with what they're doing. They have to be associated with people like me and other people out there who is doing what they're doing in other business. You know, so that's where the politics and the bullshit comes in and the foolishness comes in. It's the truth. It is the absolute truth. So anyway, I'm going to continue this conversation in another part of the video, and I'm going to finalize it by saying a couple of things. I'll be right back. Greetings once again. Sorry about the jump cut, but it was like past the 16-minute mark and my camera basically cuts off videos at 16 minutes. So I'm literally just putting a jump cut of these things together. So here's the thing, right? I'm not saying what I'm saying to beat nobody over the head with what I'm saying. But when people ask a question thinking it's just easy for someone just to take an album or a single or an EP they've just made and just give it to you because you're a fan of mine, when there are fans that just goes out and buys the product without question, without hesitation. So because you're a fan of mine, a fan, that's in some way a bargaining chip for me to say, oh, you're a fan of mine, so I'm going to give you my stuff for free. That's like me going to your yard and basically saying, give me some of your food that's in your fridge when you got your family to feed. You know what I mean? 'Cause I just love how you flex in terms of you going to work and you looking after your family. You know, I'm a great supporter in family values like that. Let me go in your fridge and take out all the contents of the food in your fridge. That don't sound right to you, does it? Well, what you're asking me doesn't sound right to me. And if the truth be known to other peers in this fraternity, it don't sound right to them either. But I'm talking it like it is. I'm saying it like it is. So the only way that we're going to progress in this thing is if we all have the same thinking. If we have all the same thinking in the support we give each other. And by that I mean the support in simply just paying for what something is worth. You know, you might pay 75 pence or 79 pence for a track, and you might feel that's not doing anything. But then if 20,000 people do the same thing, then it must be worth something. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it, you know. From you buy one track, you don't have to buy an album. You don't have to buy an album. But if 10 people buy the same track from iTunes or Amazon, it constitutes an album sale. So as a result, I'm getting an album sale of 10 of the same songs. That's how it basically works. But then when you want to turn around and ask me to give you an album that I've more or less bust my ass and paid my musicians and paid the mastering people and paid the artists that worked on the album, right? You want me to give you all of that for free? I can't support that. I cannot support that. Do you know what I mean? You know, you can't go into a shop and basically teeth people things. You get prosecuted for that. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that people think that, I don't know, like with the music thing, they can just basically get it for free? You go into YouTube right now and you type out my name. The first thing that comes up is Lloyd Brown, R-A-R. raw files. So they're looking for files that you can basically download for free. That's how rife it is right now on YouTube. Then you've got the people on YouTube basically looking for tunes and ripping it off, like I said in a couple jokes ago, that they're ripping it from YouTube converter to MP3 converters. And I'm telling you that there are DJs in this industry that are industry. Did I say industry? Did I say industry? Oh my gosh. There are DJs in this fraternity that are doing that. And they are going around doing their residency gigs all dressed up to the nines, you know what I mean, in their suits, right? And teething people's tunes and playing the tunes that them teeth, and they're getting paid. Where's the justice in that? Like I said, I might get some thumbs down for the video, but if I get thumbs down for the video, it's them people me I talk to. It's them people me I talk about. See? But anyway, I'm going to leave it like that for now. It's the morning time, and maybe it's just the lack of the natural light that I'm not getting that's causing me all of this. But I think in any day, in any light, in any season, this has to be said. It has to be said. If you support the thing, support the thing. If you're a fan of what I do or what any other artist does, established, new or veteran artists, if you claim to be a fan of any of those people, then don't ask for freeness. Don't. Because you're just embarrassing yourself in doing so. So please, support the thing if you're supporting the thing. Because there are people that supporting my things, they're not even asking me. They're buying my things. Some are saying, well, make I hear a couple of tracks now? That's fine. You know what I mean? That's standard. But there are people, DJs, fans, they are telling me, and they've already said to me that they are buying my product because they're fans of mine from both sides of the speaker, from the DJs to the fans. DJs are buying it, fans are buying it. And that keeps the infrastructure of what we're dealing with going. Because if you've got some people who don't give a toss about their fellow compatriots as to what they're doing, and all these people want to do is just make money for themselves and fund them lifestyle, then there will not be an industry, as I keep saying. And you know who I'm talking to, because I know who I'm talking to. See? So I'm just letting it be known and letting it be said and letting it be overstood for the people who don't understand the questions that they are asking and how wrong the question is that they are asking. So it's with that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu for now. And as always, you don't know the coup. People, please abstain from foolishness wherever possible. And until I catch you on the next one, people, please stay blessed. Magan. Can't find the button. I don't want to look down. All right, I'm going to look down. Where's the button? There it is. Okay, stay blessed. We're gone.